Hi guys, it's Jasmine. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my experience working for MAC Cosmetics. And I worked there a couple years ago, and I've honestly put off making this video for years because I just didn't know if I should shit talk such a big company, but now I just don't really care, so fuck it, let's do it. Let's spill the tea, sis. Does anyone say that anymore? I don't know, I'm kind of a grandma and I'm 2 years behind on lingo, so. Quick disclaimer, this is obviously just my experience, and other people are gonna have a different experience. And I know I have friends who love working for MAC, so I know I said shit talk the company, but this is more just shit talking my fucking experience. How many times can I say experience? But this is not to say that if you work there then you'll hate it. I mean, you might love it, I don't know. So please just take what I say with a grain of salt and just know that I don't fucking know. I feel I just have to put a disclaimer out there. It's been several years since I worked there, and I didn't really work there that long either before I decided to quit. So yeah. Okay, moving on though, I will be sharing my whole entire I need to think of another word for experience because this is gonna get annoying really fast. I'm just gonna be sharing my experience working there, and so I hope you enjoy. Okay, so let's start from the very beginning. In terms of hiring, interview process, how did I even get a job there? Keep in mind, this is when I freshly turned 18, and I thought that working at MAC would be the greatest honor ever, and I thought that it was impossible to work there and just only really great artists work there. And since I've actually worked there now, my views on their standards have definitely changed. But what I did was I printed out my resume and I literally just brought it to the store. The mall that I lived closest to, my back is itchy. Okay, the mall that I lived closest to at the time had a brand new MAC store open up. So I literally just marched in, gave him my resume. I was like, hi, I just wanted to leave my resume in case you guys are hiring. And definitely, I think, sorry, heartburn. I definitely think that if you're trying to get a job at any, okay, sorry guys, I've been having so much heartburn and acid reflux. It's just the second trimester thing, I guess. Anyways, anytime you're trying to get a job, I think it's nice to introduce yourself to the manager or whoever is in charge of the hiring process and give them a face-to-face so that they can see oh, this is probably a good candidate for, my location. So I think I asked for the manager, and the manager wasn't in that day, so I just left them my resume, and then the manager got back to me and basically told me that they were interested in hiring me, and that I moved on, I guess, into the next part of the hiring process. And I can't remember exactly what part came first. I think it was a face-to-face interview with the manager, and it's the stereotypical interview where they ask you questions and then you answer the questions, and it was really short. I do remember that. It was only a couple questions, and these interviews typically anyways are just to see that you're not crazy and to see that you're trustworthy employee. And at the time I didn't have a ton of makeup experience. I did do a certification course in downtown Seattle, which, what does that even mean? It was literally a one-day class thing, but I don't know, I put on my resume and I guess that made me qualified. I don't know. Makeup is weird because it's not nails or hair where you need to be a licensed professional to be doing people's makeup. Of course there's cleanliness and hygienic standards that you have to follow. Obviously you're touching people's faces, but it's not being an esthetician or something where you actually have to be educated. So yeah, just throwing that out there. If you don't have any professional makeup experience, I wouldn't let that stop you from going after positions that might seem I don't know, too good, I guess. I don't know. So anyways, at the time I thought that MAC was such a long shot, and it's honestly not, you guys. Just put yourself out there and that applies for like any situation. You never know like who's gonna accept you. Anyways, besides the point. Okay, so once I like passed that portion of the interview, I had like an application interview. So basically they told me to bring a model, so I brought my sister, and they basically give you a like time limit. I can't remember how long it was. I want to say like 20 minutes or something, and they have like a number of products that they want you to pick out from the store and then apply that. I did so bad. Her makeup looked so ugly. I'm gonna ask her if she has the photo from when I did it for this interview, because it was so bad. I think they were like, okay, so pretend like she's a client and she's like wants her makeup done this way, like basically like role playing as if you have the job. And I think the girl that interviewed me, she told me like, oh, don't worry about foundation or something. Like she told me to not put on like one of the steps, like a key step of your makeup. And so everything that I just did just looks so bad, but somehow miraculously I got the job. Honestly, I was kind of shook because I'm like, do you see the makeup that I just did? It looks so bad. But they hired me, so whatever. So that was like the interview process. And then my title was freelance makeup artist person. So that means that I don't have like one location that I work at every day. It was pretty cool because within MAC, they have MAC stores at like Nordstrom's and stuff. And so you can also work at those counters too. So since I was freelance, it was kind of up to me like how many hours I wanted to work. It's harder, but it is possible to get like potentially full-time hours just by calling different stores and picking up like, you know, shifts that the regular employees had to call out for or whatever. They just had like open time slots designated for freelance artists, and they use freelance artists a lot for like events and stuff, which is good because you get a higher pay rate for events. And back at the time when I worked there, I remember it was like $15 an hour for like regular retail store like shifts, I guess, and then it was $18 an hour for events, which at the time, like freshly 18, I thought I was freaking ballin', making $15 an hour, 18 with events. Like I don't think I really took the regular $15 an hour shifts. So to be making $18 an hour doing makeup, I was like, this is like my dream, you know? And I thought I like lucked out so much. So that was like the whole interview process. Okay, so one thing I really did not like was, I don't know if they changed this, but as a freelance artist, you have to call your own hours because you don't really have like one manager who like watches you at like all the locations. So they give you a phone number and you literally have to tell them like, okay, these are my numbers. I worked at like this location for this many hours at this rate, and then they pay you that way, which honestly, I don't know how they like double check it to make sure you're not like putting in fake hours, but it was really relaxed. I don't know how they don't know that I'm not giving them fake hours. Like I never give them fake hours, like duh. But if I did, I don't know how they would have like distinguished if I was telling the truth or not. Like, do they have like robots or something like watching me, or I don't know. But I'm pretty sure I forgot to call in one of my hours that I worked for an event. So Mac, you owe me like, I don't know how much. Like honestly, it might have been like $100, but that was my fault for not calling it in. And that's like an annoying thing where if you have like a regular job, you wouldn't have to do that. You would just get paid for like clocking in, clocking out, you know? Okay, so let's talk about dress code, because at MAC, they are known for being like very chic, like, you know, all black. And the dress code was the stupidest shit ever because basically they just want you to wear black, and their guidelines were really vague. And it wasn't like a regular job where it's like business professional or, you know, like well-known dress codes like that. It was literally up to the manager's discretion on like what they allow you to wear. And as I said, as a freelancer, you work at different locations, so it was really stressful. Okay, quick story time. One day I wore like thick leggings, like I think technically it was yoga pants, but it did not look like the Lululemon yoga pants. Like it honestly could have passed as regular pants. and I wore I think it was like black Converse and like a shirt, black shirt, I don't know, something like super like basic. And like I did my makeup, I was feeling cute. This is like when yoga pants were like poppin', so everyone was wearing them. And literally some of my coworkers' outfits were so inappropriate for like any other workplace that I thought I was being like super like, you know, conservative with my outfit that day. Literally, I'm not kidding you, my coworkers would wear black Victoria's Secret bras, not like crop tops, not bralettes even, it was straight up like lingerie bras with like the little Victoria's Secret tag peeking through and everything, and then like a mesh shirt, literally like a see-through shirt. So pretty much they're wearing just lingerie to work, and that was considered okay. So of course I was like, I'm fully clothed, I'm fine, you know, like I'm not breaking any dress code. But my manager made me change because she said it was too sporty and that's not the look that the brand is going for. And I was like, bitch, what the fuck? And I had like coworkers who would wear leggings, and then whenever that one specific manager would walk past, we'd all like pull down our shirts to like, you know, try to hide the fact that we're wearing leggings, because at the time leggings were like super common, and I know at any other workplace it's like totally inappropriate to be wearing that to work, but I'm telling you, some of my coworkers were straight up like half naked. Some of their shorts would be like up to their like ass cheeks, and they were fine. So it's really weird. Like I hate how inconsistent it is. I wish like when I work for somewhere, I want it to be very clear every day, like this is what you're allowed to wear, this is what you're not. And they couldn't tell me like, okay, this is what you're allowed to wear, this is what you're not. It was like, come to work, and if I think your outfit isn't okay, then I'll just tell you to go home and change, which like, bitch, I just drove all the way over here. Now you're gonna make me go home and change over being too sporty. So I just thought that was so petty and just so annoying, because honestly, like I'm a freelancer, like nobody gives a shit about me. I could literally just hide for my shift and, you know, be like stocking products or something. But anyways, I just thought that was so fucking annoying. And at the time I was livid. I think it was just like mainly the fact that I straight up had coworkers that were half naked and the manager said nothing. And then anytime, like some people would get away with wearing leggings and then some people wouldn't. So I was like, bitch, what the fuck? And then kind of like playing off of that, the main reason why I quit, like, yeah, there's little things here and there that were annoying. Being a freelancer, you didn't have like a main store unless like you chose to only work at one store. But for me, I worked at several different locations, and it was so difficult having to like figure out where everything is the day that you start. Oh my god. Literally feel like I'm gonna vomit. Okay. It was so difficult having to like figure out where everything is and sell products and be professional and act like you know what's happening, when really you're like, bitch, this is also my first time at this location too. Like someone would be like, oh, where's the mascara? And you're like trying to act like you know, when really you're like, where's the mascara? Where's the mascara? Because you've never been there before. So that was something I didn't like, is that there was like no training basically. And for events and stuff, they would literally have people do makeup on clients when they didn't have any experience. Like there was this guy that I worked with, he literally had zero makeup experience, none whatsoever. Before that, he literally worked at a Starbucks and he was like doing people's makeup. And people were paying him to do makeup, and he didn't know how to do it. And he literally just acted like he's got it, but it was just such a train wreck. And like, I was just so shook that a company that I look up to at the time, like I still love their products, but in terms of like the actual retail stores, it was just so bad. Like, I don't know, people were buying like makeovers from people who didn't know what they were doing. So honestly, like I said, I worked there a couple years ago, but now if I were to get my makeup done by someone, I would honestly trust like an Instagram makeup artist more than I would go to like a Sephora or a MAC or something and pay to get my makeup done, because you don't know like how much experience they have, and you also don't know like what their style is. At least like on the Instagram, I know people make fun of these like Instagram artists and stuff, but at least you get to see like their work and their portfolio, and you can judge for yourself whether you like it or not. Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, like makeup is just like art, it's subjective. what I might think looks good, like you might think is so ugly. But anyway, I'm like going on a whole other tangent, which brings me to like the main reasons why I hated working there was pretty much that. Like I realized I didn't like having to subject to other people's idea of what was good. I remember one time I was doing this woman's makeup and she was going to like a themed party, so she wanted something like a little crazy and like out there, and she asked me to do like this blue eyeshadow look. And I literally like asked her, like, are you sure, like this is what you want, like you wanted to go up to here, like are you sure? And she's like, yeah, because it fit like her event that she was going to. And I was doing her makeup and I literally had like a supervisor person come by and like low-key shade me and be like did you want it to be this high up? Like to the client, she's like, did you want it to be this high up? Like I think it would look better if it was lower. And thank God this client was so awesome. She's like, no, like this is what I asked for, and like shaded her back. And I was like, thank God, did the best. Because she was like low-key, the supervisor was like basically trying to shade me and tell me like you suck at makeup basically. And so luckily I had the awesome client who like shaded her back. But in scenarios like that, I just hated having someone like judge my work. And like, I don't know, it's different than having people online judge your work, because if people judge you online, you can be like, okay, if you don't like it, then unfollow me, you know, like it's not a big deal. But to have like your supervisor and the people that like literally are paying you or like employing you or have the ability to fire you to be like walking around every day judging you was just like not fun for me. And it kind of took the enjoyment out of like my hobby. So that was like a big thing. And then lastly, the culture and the vibe was not cute. Like it was not enjoyable coming to work. And I mean, I guess it's kind of that same thing where like I had a ton of coworkers who were super fake, like the fakest people you will ever meet on the planet. They would literally be like mean girls. They'd go up to customers and be like, oh my God, that is so cute, I love it. Literally walk around to the back and be like, oh my God, did you see that girl's like whatever skirt? It's so fugly. And I was like, are we in a movie? Like it was like, I've never met people like that in real life. I guess I don't know what it is about cosmetics and the beauty industry, but there are just some people that are super fake. I don't want to say recently, because for the past several years, I feel like people know that like MAC is kind of notorious for having rude workers. But yeah, as an employee, that was not fun to be around either every day. Like I wanted to come to work and have fun with my hobby, which was makeup, and like use as an art form. And it just got really like gross and yucky when people were judging you every day and like literally telling you that you aren't good basically. And for them to like, I don't know, it just took the fun out of it, I guess. And just the general culture and vibe, I didn't like how catty it was. And of course, like there were some people that I met there that are awesome, and I'm not saying that every single person that works there sucks. Like that's stupid, like duh, no. Like there's people that I would work with and we'd literally be like, why are some of our coworkers so fake? But yeah, that's basically it, you guys. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comment box. Blech. Let me know down in the comment box below. Like I said, this was several years ago that I worked there. So, I mean, I don't know, things could have changed in terms of like pay and the way they pay and all that stuff. So again, take what I say with a grain of salt. And the other thing is I noticed the culture and like vibe really depended on the location as well. So if you still want to work there after watching this, like I definitely recommend going in as a customer and kind of like gauging how you feel. If you're like comfortable and you think that like, you know, the employees are being nice to you and you think it'll still be fun, then like 100% go for it, apply there. And I hope that you have like a really great career as a makeup artist. But if not, and you don't want to deal with like having bosses, then honestly, like the internet is such an amazing tool now that after my MAC experience, I like worked as a freelance artist on my own, like employing myself. So if you want to see more on that, I can definitely make a whole other video talking about like, you know, finding your own clients and stuff like on Instagram. But yeah, that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a like, and that really helps me out and lets me know what kind of videos you guys want to see. And if you want to join the squad, then subscribe to my channel. We are trying to hit 1K, and that'd be really cool if you joined the fam. And I guess that's it, you guys. Until I see you next time, Bye guys.